So next up, we've got our very own fashion coder. Welcome.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. And you are one of the up and coming YouTubers here that does a really great job of reviewing the different projects that are being built on PulseChain. And we appreciate you not only because of your fashion sense, but also because you have a background in coding before you went to the product side of things. And so I can't wait to hear your presentation here tonight.
Oh, well, thanks for having me. Excited to be here. And yesterday was great. It was fun listening to the conversations. And so tonight's just going to be just as good.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I'll let you take it away.
Okay, perfect. So tonight I have a couple of different things I'm going to talk about. So thanks to Maddie for letting me choose some topics, as well as go over and review some of the projects on the PulseChain network. So tonight I will be talking about what is the value of having women in crypto. So in all of the world, there is about 3.9% of people that own cryptocurrency right now. And depending on what statistic you look at, it varies how many women are within that. If you look at the Gemini report of the state of the US crypto report, 26% are women and 74% are men. And so as we go through this, I'm going to be telling you why we need women, what women are going to do to our space, and how we can get women into crypto today. So first and foremost, why do we need women? When women grow, economies grow. And I thought that that was a really interesting quote that came from the International Monetary Fund in 2018. And something from that report that they released is they talked about economic resilience. And within this, they're talking about gender equality and how when women are able to get involved and be a part of the conversation, that they end up being able to blossom an entire industry. And so, we do have women coming into crypto, but we have such a potential that they're going to be able to bring in. I want to look at the tech space. So I used to be a software developer, and now I work on the product side of a tech company. And within that, I have seen historical figures throughout history that have actually affected all of us who are watching this right now. So 3 of those women, one of them's Ada Lovelace, and she wrote the first algorithm. So like I said, anyone on here definitely has been in an interaction with an algorithm before. Grace Hopper, she was wrote the first compiler. And then Radia Perlman invented a protocol that allows the Ethernet to handle large networks. And so what will women bring to this space? First and foremost, they're going to bring diversity of perspective. Women go through different things than men do. And it's great that we have both of the sides, but we need both of the sides within the conversation of crypto. And so that's one of the things. A couple of other things. So they'll bring in user friendliness. They'll bring in zero entry. Now, what that kind of means is men are really good at bumping their way through things and being okay with not having things typically all together. And as women join spaces, and I've seen this within tech, as women join these spaces, they won't deal with bumping through things. And so that's where the user friendliness and the zero entry comes in. And then by having women in the space, it brings in mainstream adoption. And that is the ultimate goal, is to have mainstream adoption of crypto, of PulseChain. And so by bringing the women in, it just adds a whole nother aspect to that. So I truly believe that women make things better. I'm going to give you an example. So at the current company that I work at, I got hired on, and the lady that hired me on, she was going to be my boss. But then she ended up going to a completely different company. And my company started with a different direction of being very focused on the product of the company. And so I got hired and I didn't have a boss. We had the chief product officer, and he was amazing. He had great vision, but there was something missing. And so 2 months after I got hired, my boss got hired, and she seriously has just kicked butt since being at my company. And it's because she's been an advocate for the people. She's seen what they needed. And so moving forward, everything that she's done within the company so far has just made our product flourish. And without her, I definitely do not think that we would be where we're at now, because the direction and drive that we have in a specific direction is just insane compared to where it was before. And so really, honestly, women bring a great perspective to the table. All right, so next is how. So identifying the problem. Now, if you don't have a problem, it's kind of hard to come up with a solution. So I'm a product owner, like I said, and within that, I was doing a training, and in the training, it was teaching me how to sell the products. I don't have to sell the product, so thank goodness, but I was learning how people market it so it can be successful when selling it. And they talked about how you can have all these features and all these bells and whistles, and it can be super cool. But if you're not solving a problem, it can be really hard to onboard people in. And so as I was thinking about this in my own life and how I onboard people, I realized that I've been doing this completely the wrong way. I've been going about it and telling them all these really cool things about crypto, of how it's decentralized and how it's secure and private and how it's self-governed. And I mean, all those things are really good things. But if we're not answering the question that women need answered, then there's no way that we can get everyone on board. And so as I was thinking about this, I was like, okay, what is the problem? And the problem that I identified is not having enough time to make extra money or add value to my life through financial means. And so when I say women don't have enough time, there's a statistic that actually backs this up. So the 2018 American Times Youth Survey interviewed adults 15 years and older, and on average, women worked 5.7 hours of unpaid work a day, and men worked 3.6 hours of unpaid work. Now, what unpaid work means, if you don't know, is it means you're not getting money or a monetary value for doing labor. And so it can be housework, it can be caregiving, and anything that's like involved with those two things. So women have less time in their day just because they're typically going to be the caregivers. And so when it comes to looking at crypto, it's like, oh, there's all of these really cool features, but like, I just don't have time for that because maybe I'm taking care of my parents, maybe I'm taking care of my kids, or whatever it ends up being. And so with having this problem, how crypto can solve that is crypto provides a doable way to be a blessing to yourself and your family without having to sacrifice being a caregiver and a provider. And so in my life personally, like I have a full-time career, and I have all these other things going on in my life, and I don't even have a family or anything like that. And so someone that is a caregiver and has a career, they don't have to get rid of that to be able to still have this side hustle or this side gig. I can't tell you how many times that I have had someone reach out to me and be like, hey, would you like to do this like multi-level marketing business with me? And you know, that would be cool and all to have this like passive income that would like bring me along like that. But the thing is I truly do not have enough time in the day to do something like that. And crypto has been the perfect thing to go along that and just be able to, you know, put in maybe 10 minutes every other day. And it's really exciting being in crypto that it's such a easy entry with time, because you don't have to be, you know, going all out within that. And so within my own family, my mom, my aunts, my grandmas, they've all worked, and they have all also been the caregiver. And so it's amazing that they now have the opportunity to be able to be in a space that provides a honestly life-altering thing that they can be a part of and provide financial stability to their entire family. So super, super exciting. So my challenge and my question for you today is, who are you going to onboard into crypto? What women are you going to onboard, and how are you going to do that? So exciting things within bringing women into crypto. And I also want to highlight that within the PulseChain community, I can't even tell you how supportive everyone is with onboarding new people and onboarding women and supporting women that are in the space of doing YouTube and everything. So I want to give a round of applause to all of you, because you seriously have been such an amazing community to be a part of. So to kind of switch gears a little bit, I am going to talk about a couple of different projects that are within the PulseChain network. So let me flip my notes quickly. I only have a little bit of time to go over some of them. And so at the end, I'll highlight some other ones that I didn't have enough time to talk about. But PulseChain, like I said, has a great community, and the projects that have been popping up around the community have seriously been just like mind-blowing. I see a project pop up and I'm like, wow, like that is actually absolutely brilliant and super cool that someone thought of that. And it actually has utility too. So the first project I'm going to talk about is Liquid Loans. On a basis, it is a decentralized lending protocol, and it has two different tokens. So it has USDL, which is the stable coin, and then it also has the loan token. And within the loan token, you can earn it and you can also stake it. So in Liquid Loans, there are 4 different journeys that you can basically take. When I first learned about Liquid Loans, I was kind of confused, and so I actually made a whole entire flowchart of it, because I thought this is an interesting project, and I think it really can bring a lot to PulseChain. So let's go over what those 4 journeys are. So the first thing is you're going to put your Pulse token into a contract called the Vault, which locks it up, and then it mints USDL from that. And from that, you can take a loan against your existing Pulse, and by taking a loan against your existing Pulse, you get USDL. So that is the basis of all of these. So that's the first thing you do. And the first journey that you can take is you can just use it for personal use. So you take the USDL and you can trade it out, you can trade it for other things, just whatever you are looking for within that. So then moving on to the next journey. So you've put your Pulse in, you've taken a loan out, and then what you do is you can become a stability provider for Liquid Loans itself, and then you earn the loan token from that. And then you can take that loan token and you get to decide what you do with the loan token from there. So then moving on to the third journey that you can take is you put the Pulse in, you take a loan against yourself, you get USDL, you provide liquidity or stability to Liquid Loans, and then you can stake those loan tokens and earn APR from that. So that's number 3. And then number 4. So you've done all of those things, okay? And you want to go in and redeem your Pulse. So how you redeem your Pulse is you provide USDL. So I'm really excited for Liquid Loans. I think it's going to be a great project where you can go in, put your Pulse, and say you don't want to touch your Pulse, you can just use USDL from there, and it's a perfect way to not have to touch your Pulse. All right, so that's Liquid Loans. Let's move on to the next one. So the next one I had is Internet Money. And I actually had the privilege to talk to KG, the founder of Internet Money, this past Wednesday on my stream. And it was very interesting learning about Internet Money, because it is going to have a lot of utility, and there's 2 things that really struck me hard, and I'm excited because I think it's going to help me personally onboard people into crypto. So just a little bit of backstory. So Internet Money is actually currently on Binance Smart Chain. So if you wanted, you could go buy it right now there. This is kind of cool. If you own IM on Binance Smart Chain, you'll actually be able to get an airdrop onto PulseChain once PulseChain launches. So that's really nice that they have gone in and done that. And then IMD, so that's Internet Money Dividend, is something that you could have sacrificed for back in March. Now, IMD, Internet Money Dividend, is one of the sacrifices that actually had a cap. And since it had a cap, it only lasted for like 2 hours. And so whoever got in, like that was awesome that they got to get in. I got in, not to brag. I'm actually super excited about it. But you had to sacrifice for that one. But later on, you can get it as well. So the sacrifice for PulseChain has already happened, but there will be a sacrifice for Ethereum as well as Binance Smart Chain for IMD later on. Okay, so the two things that are really interesting to me about this. So they are coming out with a wallet, and the wallet that they're coming out with has two different pathways that you can take. And it's very specified for new people. So the first one is if you are a pro at going through and creating wallets. The other one is if you're a new user. So it allows you to go at your own pace in the sense of kind of being handheld through it, which is great. So that's the first thing. And then once you get into the wallet, it is so cool. They have a little box at the very top. It's like a gift box. And what they do is they give out IMD and Pulse to users. So if you've ever onboarded someone into any crypto, you typically have to have them put money in right away. But by the IM within their wallet, they're going to be able to be giving the IMD token and Pulse, so you can trade it out into other things if you'd like. And so someone can experience crypto right there and not have to put money in directly. So I'm really excited for that because I think it's going to be a great thing. And it will be a simple way to bring users in. Okay, now the second thing. So if you hold the IMD token, you can hold it on PulseChain, Ethereum, or Binance Smart Chain. If you hold it, what happens is you receive that blockchain's native currency. And so, for example, if you are holding it on PulseChain, then you're going to be getting Pulse as a token. And when I say hold, like you don't have to stake it, you don't have to do anything. You literally just have it in your wallet. And from there, you earn those rewards. And they're good rewards because it's Ethereum or Pulse or BNB. And so that's exciting. And how you get those rewards is it's from the fees generated from the swaps. So excited about that one. All right, next project. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Mintra. If you go to their website, you will see that there isn't a ton of information on what they're doing, but it is going to be a green marketplace for NFTs, which is honestly something that's really needed. Something that they do go into on their website is the carbon footprint that is happening right now with buying, selling, and making NFTs. And it is seriously such an absurd amount of energy that is being just absolutely wasted within these things. And so what they're doing and what they're claiming is that because they're launching on PulseChain, is they are going to be on a proof of stake, not a proof of work. And so the absurd amount of energy being taken is not going to be a thing for them. And so it's going to be an awesome place where, you can trade NFTs in whatever form it is and be able to, not hurt the environment as much. So excited for Mintra and just excited to see what they have coming to us. All right, next project. PulseSpeak is going to be a Web 3.0 social platform. And I think it's really cool that they are, taking this idea of censorship and everything that's going on in our world. I'm sure everyone can relate to this somehow, but there's this censorship. And because of the censorship, it's making it so, there's really truly not free speech. And so key components of Pulse Speak are it's unbiased, no censorship, and there's freedom of speech. And it's great because it's coming out on Web 3.0. Now, I think the most interesting part about Pulse Speak is that you back up your words by betting on your beliefs. And I don't think we really have anything like that at the moment. And what a better way to add something of that to our society than to add it to Web 3.0. So excited for that one, and just to see how that will grow, because you'll be able to bet on, a game that's going on or a political thing going on. So it's going to be a great time to see how that social media platform pans out. Okay, next, I am going to talk about PulsePot. Now, PulsePot is in the gaming sector of crypto. And just to be absolutely frank with you, it is a gambling site. But I think it is going to be a great project in the sense that just like internet money, it is cross-chain. And so the fact that it's cross-chain, it will hopefully bring people into PulseChain, which is what we want. We want as many people in PulseChain as we possibly can. And so PulsePot is going to be able to be one of those in our community. So what PulsePot is, I actually had a lot of fun going in and doing just the whole protocol and what they have. And so what you do, you go on their website, in their D app, and you connect your wallet, and there's a list of tokens that you can put into this pot, okay? So you put one of the tokens into the pot, and then you wait for someone else to join the pot with you. And within the meantime, you have about 5 minutes to go in. You can add as many transactions and as much money into the pot. Other people can too, and there will be as many participants as possible that want to join. Now, this was my favorite part about it. They had a percentage chance of you winning the entire pot of everything. So like there could be Hex in it, there could be the loan token, there could be PulseP, which is PulsePot's token. There's all these different things that can be in it. Now, if you win the pot, you win everything. And if you win the pot, you get 3 PulseP, which is their token. And then for every $20 that you earn, you also earn 1 PulseP. So with anything, when there's high reward, there's high risk. And so that is something going into it that you need to be aware of. But I think it's going to be great in the sense of bringing other people into our community. Okay, next token, last token. I think this is probably the newest token in our community, and it is called the Wait token. It's been around for 10 days, and so if any project has come out before then, I'm so sorry, I don't know about it yet, but the Wait token is for incentivizing people to wait during this time of us waiting for PulseChain to launch. Now, there's a couple of things within this. So you had to have sacrificed for one of the 8 tokens that they have, okay? So if you didn't sacrifice for the tokens, you're not going to be able to claim it, but it is on ERC20. So if you're interested, you could go and purchase it. But if you sacrifice for any of these 8 tokens, you can go in, you connect to their D app, and what happens is you can see which ones you sacrificed for, and there are tokens that you can claim. Now, if you claimed the moment they came out, you would have gotten a certain amount of tokens. If you claim right now, you would have more tokens than when they came out last week, okay? So the longer you wait, the more tokens that you have. And so it's incentivizing this whole wait time. But if PulseChain comes out and you haven't claimed your tokens, then you aren't going to be getting any of the tokens from that. So say you don't claim, or say you do, there is something called a midnight bonus. So not all the wait is going to be claimed. So 50% of the wait token that's not claimed is going to go to people that do hold wait. So I think that's kind of cool because, that is something that, if you claim it now, you are guaranteed, most likely, unless everyone claims, you're going to be getting that token. So I think that's interesting. Okay, I do want to give a disclaimer for this though. Not all of their code is locked, okay? And they are very transparent about that on their website and in their white paper. So what's happening is they have something called a manager function. And within the manager function, they have a date that's for when PulseChain launches and the claiming has to end, okay? Well, we don't know when PulseChain is going to launch. And so they have to go in and manually set the day. So that's why it's not locked, because they have to go end the claiming, and they do have a couple of checks in place. So the manager function can only ever be ran once on both platforms. So currently it is on Ethereum, and then it will be on PulseChain. So it'll only ever be able to be done once on PulseChain, once on Ethereum. So as someone who is and has been a software developer, it totally makes sense, unless they knew the exact date and could hard code it when PulseChain comes out, then like it's okay. And so I think that is something to note, but it absolutely makes sense because we just don't know when it's going to come out. All right, so that's all the time that I have today to talk about these different projects. I have so many other projects that I really truly do love, and I do want to give a couple of shout outs. I think Power City is awesome, Fiat, Reflection, the Cashflow Academy that you can go and learn more about Hex, and just so many more projects. And so thank you to everyone in the community that has come out and has put in work and effort into making PulseChain the best chain. So Maddie, thank you for having me today, and excited just to see where all of this goes.
Awesome. And I think I have a graphic here that I found that shows all the different projects being built on PulseChain. I know that you've reviewed a number of them on your channel. Where can people go to find out more from you?
So I have my YouTube channel, and it is Fashion Coder. And then if you want to find me on Twitter, it's Fashion Coder 6.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for presenting today, and we'll look forward to hearing from you again in the future.
Thanks so much. Bye.